Okay, hello. I'm excited to do this. I was talking to I almost said Amber, and I was like, I have the perfect person that I'm gonna bring on, and it's Jennifer Welshans. If you guys don't know her, number one, go follow her on everything. She's a social media queen. I've had a couple people ask me, they're like, who is she? What about her? I'm like, just go look. Like, just go look. Like, I can't even say, I can't tell you, just go look. It'll speak for itself. And so it's a funny story that we actually met in the Dominican at a VIP event. They threw on some Soldier Boy, and the rest was history. It was like an hour later, she messaged me and she goes, "Did I just spank you on the beach?" I said, I'm pretty sure you did. And you guys, I can't stress the importance enough, just that alone of getting to events and meeting people, whether it be the Getaways or Palooza or the locals. You're gonna meet people that you wouldn't meet otherwise. And I know so many people can see 200Ks and they can see Lavelle millionaires and they can put them on a pedestal and they can think, they have something that I don't have, or they're different and I can't do that. And you get around these people and it's like, I danced on the beach in the Dominican with a bunch of millionaires to Soldier Boy. You can't tell me that they're not just like you and I, right? So that, I just want to throw that out there. But Jennifer, thank you for getting on. I have a couple of questions. I should have sent them to you. I'm sorry that I didn't. But they're pretty, I feel like you'd be able to answer them pretty easily. So do you want to just jump right in and give us a little bit about you, how you were introduced to Thrive? Were you a customer first? Did you jump right into the opportunity? And then, did you have any experience beforehand? How did that look like?
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Jennifer Welshans. I am a single mom of 3 little trolls, and I live in central Pennsylvania. So I'm actually not far from Katie. We keep talking like we're gonna get together, and it just life gets crazy. But I've been with Lavelle for 6.5 years. I had never done anything like this before. This is my first and only network marketing company. I tell people I bleed Lavelle. I'm never leaving. But I was literally just a tired, exhausted, and worn out busy mom that was looking for something to give me more energy. And I stumbled on this silly sticker on Facebook. I was scrolling from the couch on a Sunday afternoon, and I was drinking an obscene amount of coffee, diet soda, and energy drinks every day. And I was barely putting one foot in front of the other. I was just hardly making it through the day. And I knew there just had to be something out there. And one day I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw this girl, and I had seen her a few times posting about this silly sticker she was wearing, but at the same time I thought she was crazy. Like, most people think Thrivers are nuts anyway, but like, that was me. I'm like, she's crazy. There's no way that stupid thing is like making her feel as good as she says she's feeling. But I think I saw her probably for the 3rd or 4th time. And fun fact, she never once reached out to me, so I did not enroll under her. Bad so bad for her. But anyway, that's a whole nother day, another training. So I actually went on Facebook onto the Lavelle, because of course I went online looking for it, and you can't buy it just anywhere. And I was one of those people that wasn't going to buy it off eBay. So, but I went on Facebook on the Lavelle fan page and just made a post and said, does anybody want to tell me about this stuff? And of course my inbox was like flooded with all these people happy to share with me about Thrive. And I was on it maybe about 10 days. And I realized, so I got my product, took it all wrong at first because the person that enrolled me really didn't give me any guidance or any instructions or anything like that. Took it all wrong, but I still felt good. And by day 10, I knew I'd be on this product for the rest of my life. Like, it was just all she wrote. And I wasn't going to join. I was not looking for another job. I was a hairstylist. I ran 3 salons at the time. And I had an overflowing plate. I was married at the time to my children's father, but I felt like I was a single mom. So there was just no way in Hades I was going to add one more thing to my plate. And the girl that was actually the sponsor of the girl that enrolled me, she was very tricky. But all in a good way. Like, she looked at me because I was a hairstylist and she saw potential. Like, those people talk to people all day long and they drink coffee all day long. So she just said to me, because she kept asking me about promoting, and I'm like, nope, I don't do those things, like network marketing. I had a very bad negative attitude about network marketing at the time. And I said, I just love the product. I'll just be a customer. And she said, well, you know, you can get your product for free if you refer two people. And I was entrepreneurial enough to be like, well, I know two tired, exhausted, and worn out busy mama friends in my life like that need this stuff. So, okay, I'll go find two people to get my products for free. Then she goes to me, she goes, well, before you put them in the system, if you flip your account to promoter. And I kept saying to her, like, I do not want to promote this stuff. Like, there's no way I'm going to do this. I don't have time. I'm too busy. I've got too much to do as it is. And she's like, but wait a minute. She goes, if you flip your account to promoter, you'll still get your products for free, but you can earn some extra commissions. And she's like, then you know, turn them to credits. She says, you can get an extra free box of shakes or a free plus line item. This was like how tricky she was. She's like, you can get like a free item every month if you switch your account to promoter before you put them in. And I'm like, well, okay. Like, again, entrepreneurial enough, but if you say free products, I'm good. And pretty soon I just kept talking to people. Clients were coming in, and like I had this one client that came in the salon, and she's like, what are you taking? Because you're like way nicer. And I'm like, I tried not to take offense to it, but I'm like, well, I'm not exhausted. Like, you're just nicer when you're not tired. Like, and my stress level, and I realized then that my stress level had gone down. Like, I was just handling things a little bit better and stuff like that. So I just kept referring people, like, and then the couple of people accidentally like hit the promoter button before they ordered. Well, long story short, I hit VIP. So I remember looking, and I was sitting at my desk in the office, and I remember I got an email. It was a Tuesday. I got an email that, you know, I had, you know, made some money from Lavelle. So I'm like, well, whatever, you know, $40, right? They deposited $500 into my checking account that week. And I remember sitting in my chair, and I leaned back, and I was like, what just happened? And I called the girl, Kristen, the girl that was my mentor at the time. I called her on the phone, and I'm like, what just happened here? And she's like, well, you've hit, it was like VIP 800 and some commissions and stuff like that. And she's like, well, you hit our fast start bonuses. And I'm like, is this for real? Like, is this like for like real? This is Monopoly money, right? She's like, no, like if you hit the transfer button, it'll go to your checking account. And I'm like, that was literally the most fun I've ever had making $500. And that was it. I hit 200K in 10 months, hit millionaire in 29 months, and I'm still here. So
I love that you had said that too. Like your VIPs was like your aha, like, hold on a second, what? You know what I mean? And when I had joined network marketing, Lavelle's not my first company, but I think it's super special that you said Lavelle is your first company, because a lot of times you see people go back and forth, like, oh, somebody joined from that company and they're going really fast, or someone came in from this company and they're going really fast. And we think it's because they came from another company and they're bringing teams and this, that, and the other. You didn't do that. Your button that you hit promoter, that was the first time you've ever hit promoter on any company ever, and you were still able to build the 200K and then go on to become a Lavelle millionaire. So I think that's super important that people hear that. But the VIP thing I love too, because in my last business, I joined that one on a whim to help a friend earn a bonus. And I was just talking about it. I accidentally made a $100 fast start, and I was like, shut the front door. Like,
right?
That's all it took, was that $100 for me. It's all it took was that $500 for you. And you were like, game on. And so if you think that you need to be out here making 5 figures a week to share about this business, you don't. And, you know, you could talk to people about making a couple extra $100. That's huge. That's why accidentally Amanda, or I'm sorry, you're not Amanda, you're just on Amanda's page, Amber. You know, people look at the big stuff and the big numbers and the fancy things, and they're like, we just want a couple extra $100. And then once we see that that's possible, I mean, the potential is endless. It's literally unlimited. And so show people the small things, and then they'll get that vision and see what more is there. So your timeline went really, really fast. You said 200K in 10 months.
Yep.
That's insane. So was it for you? Did you face hard seasons in that? Because I know for me, we hit 200K in 7 months, but then the very next month we lost it. And I'm very, very transparent about that. So we hit 200K in month 7, and then we lost it for 18 months before we re-ranked. And I'll always tell people that, because it's, you know, some people never lose their rank, but if you do, it's okay. It happens. It's normal. You know, I've never let that stop me, or I've never quit over that. And I feel like I just wasn't ready for where my numbers, like I'm here, my mindset, I wasn't responsible enough or ready enough or equipped enough to be the leader of a 200K team. And so I was humbled real fast, and we had to build solidly back to 200K. It took us 18 months. You know, did you ever face anything like that? Losing rank, you know, people leaving, coming and going, anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. And I would question the validity of those people that say they've never lost rank, because that's then I'm like, okay. Just because sales just goes up and down. It's just the way it is. And I've had a swing of like, my highest month was like 800,000 down to like eking by at 80K. You know what I mean? Like, you can have, not in 2 months back to back, but in seasons, like you can have, it is very normal in sales to have those kinds of spikes and valleys and stuff like that. And 100%, Eric Worre teaches the leadership gap, which is what you just talked about, where he said that it's very normal, and that people need to know this, because a lot of times they would quit, where you said like the very next month you lost it, you would quit. People quit because they're like, well, I can't do this. I'm not good at this. When really all they need to understand that if the sales are here, but the leadership is here, sales will always fall to where the knowledge of the leadership is. And that we experience that 100%. In fact, we got to 200K and don't even really know how we got there. Like, it was just a matter of everybody that was stand still long enough heard about Thrive. And it took then I hired Ray Higdon as a coach. I was in his top earner club to learn, like, okay, this is what we should have been doing when we didn't do it here. You know what I mean? And it was just, but then that was where the leadership gap had, you know, struck us as well, where we needed to now learn, actually, because I was new to network marketing. I was into social media. Like, people look at my social accounts now and they're like, oh, but I'm like, you don't understand. 6 years ago, my profile picture was a flower. I never took my own picture. Like, selfie was like, get out of here.
You
like,
were that
and
person
my
that had like a
Facebook,
flower, or like a dog.
yeah, my TikTok didn't exist. I didn't have Instagram, and my Facebook was literally for me to share recipes and DIY projects that I would never do. Like, that was it. So I had to learn all that stuff and learn how to build. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really normal. I would question somebody when they say they've never lost rank.
Yeah, I mean, if someone out there has really never ever lost rank, then they've got hella lucky bringing in some very strong people, you know. And it happens, it does, but the losing your rank's not abnormal. And like you had said, you know, if your sales are here and your leadership's here, I love that so much. But so if you've ever been someone that's lost rank, it's like, instead of saying, hey, you know, maybe I was a one and done, maybe I can't do this anymore, maybe I don't have what it takes. I've always said, if you can do it once, you can do it again. Like, doing it once is just a fact that you can do it again. And don't look at it as, hey, I'm a failure, but look at it as like, okay, what do I need to equip myself with, and how can I strengthen my mindset and my leadership and our team as a whole to get back to that place? Because we've done it before and we can do it again. What needs to be done, right? And so take that as a learning experience. Let's see, your social media. That's another one I wanted to ask about, is because somebody was like, oh, you know, Jennifer, I've never heard her name. And I'm like, just look her up. Like, I can't even, I don't know, just go look her up. Just go. Her page will speak for itself. You have an amazing social media, Facebook, Instagram. and TikTok. And I mean, I've seen people be good on Instagram, but then their Facebook is crickets. I've seen people who are great on TikTok, but their Facebook and their Instagram is not the best. I mean, you're on all three and you're like literally killing all three. How did you learn to do that? Because like you said, 6 years ago you were a flower. How did you learn social media, like trial and error? You know, take us through that because your stuff is popping.
So honestly, and I hate to even bring her up, but I started following Jessie Lee Ward. She taught me everything about social media, and every time she said to go do something, I did it. And it really does work. I mean, social media is it's not hard to conquer. You just have to stay super consistent, and there's definitely some factors in it all. Like I call it my three-legged stool. Maybe some of you have been part of my three-legged stool trainings. I did talk about it a little bit at Palooza when I was part of the panel. But there are definite components that need to go into you building on social media. But once you do it, and stay consistent, it just happens. Like the audience will come, your humans will come. If you stay consistent, and the biggest thing is just engaging. Like you got to talk to your people, even if you just reply with a little emoji, which is usually what my people get at these days because there's hundreds of comments. But social media wants to be social on social media. So when you're there, you can't be scrolling. You have to actually be intentional and purposeful in your actions.
And I've noticed too is like you've really niched down. So you're not talking about like 15 different things on your page. I mean, a lot of your stuff is like dark humor and like funny stuff and like dirty memes and like the stuff that makes you laugh. But that's valuable though, is because if you can make someone laugh, you know, that's the best way to connect with somebody. And I've always told people like, however you're sharing on your social media, make sure it's valuable, whether it's educating, uplifting, encouraging, funny, just some way to connect with them. You don't just want to be like a sales robot or a car salesman, but you want to show people like, hey, hey, I might be a Lavelle millionaire, but I love a good raunchy meme just as much as the next person, and you're relatable to those people. So let's see, behind the scenes. So because social media is your storefront, I've always said like social media is your open sign, but behind the scenes, that's where like people are coming into your store. People are seeing what you've got to offer. How do you work behind the scenes? Are you interacting? Do you do reach outs? Like, do you message people first? Because you had said, the woman that you followed, sadly for her, never reached out to you, and so you never enrolled with her. Do you do reach outs? What does that look like on a daily basis? Like, what does work for you? If I were to follow you around for a day, what would I see?
Oh my gosh, so many things, so many components. In fact, I calendar block and I preach it all the time. Like I have an hour just for team support. I have an hour for Instagram. I have an hour for Facebook. I have an hour for TikTok. Like and then an hour to just create. So many things. But to answer your question, 100%, I still do reach outs every day and I coach it. I don't coach cold messaging, but I do coach. You have to interact with your humans. You have to say hi to your new followers. You have to talk to people, because here's the thing, like, and I'm using the girl that I first saw, the silly sticker 6.5 years ago, as a training tool for my team. I use it all the time. I would have not, if she would have sent me like the typical hey girl message, I probably would have like left her unread. But if she would have just reached out to me and just say, hey, like, I know we haven't talked forever, like, what's new? Like, what's going on? I would have said to her, hey, life's been super busy. What's that stupid sticker you're wearing? I would have opened, if she would have opened that door or cracked it, I would have opened it some more. So that's where I coach my team. You have to, people buy from whom they know, like, and trust. And statistically, it takes 8 to 20 impressions about your product for somebody to make a buying decision. People statistically quit after 3, whether it's making 3 product posts, whether it's a reach out, whether it's whatever, but people quit before they get to that sweet spot. So if you are talking to, I recommend replying to every comment on every post on every platform. Then I also recommend talking to those people in the DMs. Like, that's my 3-legged stool. Like, you have to create good content. You have to engage with your audience. You have to talk to them in the DMs, because I would say of the last 10 people, I mean, right now I'm like gangster with samples, and that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But before I was gangster with samples, 9 out of 10 of my new orders came from people just because I wished them a happy birthday, or I jumped in their inbox and said, hey, oh my gosh, your kids, they look like they had so much fun in Disney. Did you guys have a great time? You know what I mean? It's just having those little and it doesn't have to be long and drawn out. It doesn't have to be fake either. Like, I don't want you to just become friends with someone and make it feel fake. I genuinely love to connect with my audience. I genuinely love to build on social media. I love opening my apps and talking to people. So that's where it comes from. And yeah, so 100% I coach reach outs to my team.
You know what I love too is that you had said like reaching out to someone isn't necessarily, hey, do you want to hear about my business opportunity? Or, hey, you know, you have kids, try my product. Once you, and I've always said this too, is like, I will bring up the product or the business first to somebody if we have a relationship built. So if I messaged you, hey, Jennifer, you know, realize we haven't talked before, connected, how's it going? And we had a conversation a couple of times, then it wouldn't be, I feel like, a cold message for if you posted this morning how tired you are, for me to message you like, hey, I saw your post. Have you ever tried Thrive before? I'd love to get a sample in your hands. Because we've talked before. I'm not just like, hey girl, you're so pretty. You know, do you want to do this for me? Blah, 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 or join my team. But we've had conversations before. And one thing that I learned too, I don't know if you've ever been taught this or you've heard of this before, but I also heard it from Jessie Lee. And she had amazing trainings, you guys. I definitely recommend the podcast if you haven't heard it yet, but the green light challenge. And so what that is, yes, no, and that's what I do as well, is if you go into your Facebook Messenger, you can see green dots on everyone's name who's active. And so if before you go live or before you post on your social media or before you go and engage through stories, do a green light challenge. Go through your messenger, who's got that green light, and reach out to them. Hey, I haven't talked to you in forever. How's it going? Or we haven't connected. How's it going? Go to their page. You know, and I've always said this too, if you're scrolling through your feed interacting and you see someone get engaged, don't just comment congratulations, message them. If someone's children are sick, don't just comment that you hope they feel better, message them. Can you offer value? If someone's asking me, you know, on their Facebook for a good Mexican recommendation, I'm going to message them, say, hey, go to Rancho Viejo, ask for Hannah. Tell her Katie sent you. I go there all the time. And so I would be able to message her and talk to her that way, because millions are made in the messenger. Like, you can see people's social media be popping and you're like, what's going on? Like, how are they doing all this? And it's because they're working behind the scenes and they're having conversations behind the scenes. You said something about like you're slinging samples, and that's a whole different topic for another day, but I want to touch on it a little bit because I noticed you go live a lot packing samples or trials. Number one, do you charge for them? Are you giving them away for free? Is packing trials on live helping you get more trials out? Are you helping people thrive for free with trials? Because you sling them like it ain't nobody's business. And I remember thinking back, people will ask me, you know, when I went 200K in 7 months, they're like, how did you do it? And to be honest, I blacked out for most of it. Like, you're like, I don't even know what happened. It's like if somebody had 2 years and would sit in front of me, I was telling them about Thrive. But back then we didn't have sample mail outs, right? So I joined in 2017. And so, I mean, you were packing those babies up at your house, taking them to the post office and shipping them out that way. And I was getting them out. I was getting samples out faster than Lavelle could put them on my doorstep. And because of that, I was in the top PPA for like the, you know, of our whole entire team, all the way up to like, you know, Chas and Amber for like the first year. And it was samples. And I've even noticed to this day, you know, if I'm like, dang, my PPA is going down, or I haven't gotten a lot of customers in the system, what is going on? I'll pull up. So I keep track of like all my sample customers. Obviously, I'll go through my back office, or, you know, some of the custom samples that I do send out from home. And I'm like, when's the last time I even sent one out? Oh, I haven't sent one out in the last 3 weeks. Well, that explains it, you know. And so samples, I think, to me, I believe, are the bread and butter. What's your biggest return on investment? Like, where do you see the most growth? But I think it's samples. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So right now, 100%. And I think that this goes to the fact that there's always going to be changes in our business, and you need to learn to like pivot. So right now, 100%, all of my enrollments are coming from samples, and I do both. So I charge for my trials. That's why I use 2 different like wordings. Like, trials are, I will charge for those. Those are custom. They can get 3, 6, 10, or 14 days. They can choose, their shake flavor, that kind of thing. And I do the free 3-day samples because there are those people that are just going to want to do the free whatever. And then there's like me, I would rather go big or go home and like skip the free 3-day, give me the 14-day that I can pick my shake flavors kind of person. So I'm kind of covering both bases here. Plus I also will offer free samplers. So if they're like, whether they're like, if I can't close them to place an order, that I then like default to like, and I give them a deal on a 14-day, because there's always those people that take it wrong or whatever. Those people that you can't close right at the end. And then I default to a discounted 14-day. And then to answer your question, yes, when I go live to pack trials, I will sell enough trials to go live again. So it's kind of like this rotating, like big circle. But yeah, samples. And it's funny because I didn't believe in samples. I'll just gonna share my sample journey here super quick. So I come from the hair industry, and we're taught that if you hand a woman a sample of shampoo, it's going to sit in the bottom of her purse till 2 weeks go by. When she cleans out her purse, it's going to then end up in the trash, because we've all done that, right? But if you charge her $1 for it, the first thing she does when she goes home is she's going to take it and put it in the shower, probably with a pair of scissors, because she'll have to cut the dang top off. But anyway, value. You need to have value. So way in the beginning, when I got started, I refused to do free samples. I'm like, no, I sell 6-day trial packs. And when I got started, and I coach new promoters this way too, is I don't even talk about the full month. And back in 2017, the full month was $190. You didn't get a free box of shakes. So I didn't even talk about that. When people asked me, I had customers ask me, or people on social media, when I started posting on social media about, tell me about this product you're taking. I sell 6-day trial packs. That was my verbiage. It was way easier for me to sell a 6-day trial pack for $40 than talk about a full month for $190. But the orders organically came from that, because once they're on 6 days, like, they ain't going anywhere, guys, especially if they do it right. So that's where I came from. Then we were under rank bonuses at the time. I hit 4K, I hit 12K, I hit 4K and 12K under my husband's account, blah, 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 all the things. And I was running for a 40K bonus. And by that time I had found a mentor in Lavelle. She was like my up line. So here's another pro tip. Like, if you don't really resonate with your sponsor, it's okay. Someone up there is going to help you. You just need to find that person. I think she was like 9 levels above me. But she said, you just got to change it up. Cause I'm like, all right, I want to hit this 40K bonus. Like, what do I do? Just change it up. I switched to free 3-day samples at that point. And in 1 month I hit 40K. But then I went back to trials, and I did trials for years. And it wasn't until just this year, like, I appreciated what Lavelle did for the free sample program. I was even, because I did Eric Worre's Next Level Mastermind, I was even sitting in his house in Vegas, and he brought up Lavelle's sample program because they just dropped it. And he said something so nice about Lavelle, about how a lot of companies don't do what these people do. And he had asked me if I was using it. And of course I had to go, no. But anyway, fast forward to this year, I sell trials, tons of trials. Like, it's a whole nother side business, and it's amazing. And if you're not doing it, you should be doing it. But anyway, I was taking another armload or box load of trial packs to my local post office. And I don't know what made me do it, and why I stopped doing it. That was another thing. But the 2 post ladies I'd become pretty good friends with, because every day I'm slinging a whole box of trial packs to them. And I'm like, have you guys ever tried this stuff? And they're like, no, we've been wanting to ask you about it, and they've just never tried it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I literally had just gotten a box, because I use a post office box for a lot of things. So I was shipping my products there too. Went out to my car, pulled out 3 days for each of them, threw them on the counter, and completely forgot about it, right? Because I'm so trial focused. And it wasn't until 2 weeks later, I'm back at the post office and remembered to ask them. I'm like, would you guys ever think of that sample? They're like, oh my gosh, we both love it. We want to order. Can we order? Can we get more? And I was like, it was just this big aha moment, how free 3-day samples do work, because there's always going to be those people that would prefer to start with a sample. I mean, there's 54 of you on here. I'm sure half of you probably started with a free sample. And so think about that. So that's my story. I'm back to slinging samples. So I now do both. And I give people the option, but I will 100% back you on that. Even though I didn't believe that in the beginning, free samples do work. It's just, you have to make sure you follow up with these people, because that is where the fortune's in the follow-up. You don't follow up with these people, you're gonna waste your money. But
if you're somebody who can't afford right now to do the free samples, you know, the back office credits, you get 6 minis for $72. That breaks down to $12. So like you had said, you know, some people, you want them to have some skin in the game, right? Like even if it's $5, but $12 for a 3-day sample. If you go live, you know, video content's king. I don't care. Like I'll go toe to toe. Video content is king. I've never gone live and not had a conversation after that live ended with somebody about the products of the business. So go live, pack a sample up. You know, say that you've never done this before. $12 samples, that gives you, you know, your entire investment back until you can, you know, do whatever you want to do with those samples. But I liked how you had said you dropped those samples off at the post office for those ladies and you forgot all about them. You were like, oh, like however long went by, you forgot all about them. And I think that's so important because, well, not that you forgot them, obviously, but a lesson in that is like, I've talked to people who are like, you know, I want to thrive for free. I'm just waiting on these 2 people. I'm just waiting on these 2 people. But this person's been saying for weeks that she's going to order. I'm just waiting for her to order. And it's like, we're waiting for the same 5 people. If you're going to wait on the same 5 people, you're going to be waiting forever because some of those people are just never going to order. They're giving you the runaround. But you were so trial focused. You were getting trials out every single day, talking to new people every single day, that it's like you forgot who didn't want it, or you forgot who didn't like it, or you forgot who didn't try it, right? Because you were so focused on talking to more people. So I've always said, focus on conversations, not sales. Focus on the number of people you can connect with, not sales, because you might see somebody enrolling 10 people, but maybe they've talked to 100, right? And you've only talked to 5. And so when you're focusing on following up with the same people over and over and over, you're like beating a dead horse almost. Just share, be consistent. They're going to see your stuff. And whenever the time's right for them, you know, keep conversation going, right? Like don't completely write them off, but move on. Go share with more people, because the more time that you spend being hung up on somebody who's giving you the runaround is less time that you're being able to spend with people who truly want this and need this opportunity and the products, right? Focus on the amount of people you can talk to. How do you close your samples? Do you do credits, incentives? Like, do you help people thrive for free also? Like, how does that look?
So I have a funnel of scripts. I'm a big script user. I supply scripts for my team, that kind of thing. But, so I have a funnel in closing them, and I do give them, because I buy so many, which I love that Lavelle does this for us now. I buy so many $400 and $800 boxes because I sell so many trials. I have an overload of $20 off coupons. And I do the 15% off code because I do so many lives, and now I register them with Lavelle. That's another thing. If you guys aren't taking advantage of those host rewards, they give you free sample credits in those host rewards. So definitely do that. I keep encouraging my team because I don't know how long they're going to continue to do that, but it's amazing. So go check that out. So if you can't afford to get started with free samples, go do those events to earn the free credits and then get started that way for sure. But I definitely offer them I first try to close them on the month with the discounts. And then from there, if they're like, oh, I'm not sure, or money's tight, or whatever it is they say that they're not jumping, then I'll default to a discounted 14-day trial pack.
Okay. And something that I used to do too, like way back when I couldn't afford a bunch of extra stuff, is like, you can use your credit. I used to use all my credits for myself. I'm like, oh, free credits, like mine, right? But then I had none to give out to people. And this was before we got the promo code. Like we literally didn't get anything extra with the packs. When I started, it was like, this is what you get. There's no codes, there's no freebies, like this is it, and that's it. And so I was using all my credits, but then I realized, you know, I could take my credits to create more credits. Like it literally only takes me giving 2 people $25 off to generate another $160 in credits for myself, you know? And so use your credits to make credits. That was big. Never underestimate the power of just blessing people with that discount. Something that I do now, like you had said, you constantly get the 400 and the 800 packs to, you know, keep yourself stocked up on your own products, trials, codes. I love the tag teams. Um, if you saw my order history from Tag Team, you're like, dang, she about like $1,000 worth of stuff. And I do that because I can with BOGO. So then I can take my credits and I can take my, you know, promo codes and I can give them to people for incentives. So don't underestimate the power of that. Also, you know, with double, triple fast starts, I've offered cash back on packs. I'm sure you probably do as well when you're helping new people start. Never underestimate the power of giving someone something back, whether it's free shipping, a $20 reimbursement, you know, with double, triple fast starts, maybe some cash back or a free shipping code. I've said this before, but maybe some of you guys have never heard it, is the only reason that I'm here is because I joined when there was a promo and I got some money back off my kit. That's the only reason that I started. And I'm telling you, almost $10 million in sales later, my sponsor is probably extremely happy that she was willing to give me that little bit of money off of my kit because, you know, she went 200K shortly after 80K and then 200K shortly after our team, you know, entered this company. So let's see, I have some more questions, but I'm like so scatterbrained. Okay. Where can we find you on social media? Somebody did ask too, and I don't want to keep you guys super long, but somebody asked, where can we find you? I know Facebook is just Jennifer Welshans.
It's all the same profile picture, same name, Jennifer Welshans. I believe in continuity between the platforms so people can find you easily.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have like my Instagram name be like that crazy cat lady, or like you ever go to type in someone's name and you're like, I know they're on Instagram, but like I can't search them by their name. All of my stuff is my name as well. What would you say is like your best piece of advice for someone who maybe they just got started, they're unsure of how to get their footing, or maybe they've been here for a little bit, but they've kind of fall off and they're like, I don't even know where to start back up again. Like, I don't even know how to pick this thing back up. My answer to that would be excitement and consistency. Don't overthink it. Just get out there, go live. Who cares if there's one person on? Who cares if there's no people on? Go make the content. Stop overthinking. Overthinking will kill your business. And excitement sells, but I'm curious to see what your answer would be for that, like your best tip for someone.
Yeah, I mean, those are all really good tips and that's wonderful. The only thing I would add to that is a tactical task, and that would be to print out your Facebook list and go talk to people.
Yeah.
Just print out your list and just, because half those people you don't even remember you're friends with, and just go talk to people. And you don't have to mention the product, but if you're posting correctly and engaging correctly, so more people are seeing your stuff, I mean, somebody you haven't talked to in a year, guarantee the first thing they're going to do is go to your page before they even reply to you, and just to see what you're up to. And if as long as they see you have a product you love or an opportunity you love, and that's not all they see, and you're not a Pamela Anderson, they're going to ask you about what you're doing. So I would say what you said, definitely don't overthink it. Definitely be super excited. Remember how you felt before you started. Like, I never want to go back to feeling like that or living like that. So be excited about what you have your hands on and just start talking to people. You're going to be surprised how good you feel and how your confidence level will build the more conversations you have. Like you said, you can't talk to the same 3 people. You have to, you need to cast that wide net, you know, because remember, it takes 8 to 20 impressions about your product or opportunity for somebody to make a buying decision. Starbucks knows this. They don't care if there's a Starbucks on every corner. You're going to buy at some point, which is true. So, you know, you just gotta stay consistent and just keep doing it, because the only way to fail in this business is to quit.
Yeah, and I've even had people too, like I'll go and interact with them and they're like, hey, I've been meaning to ask you about the product all of the time. And I'm like, I was just reaching out and saying that I hope your babies felt better, you know, and they're like, hey, I've been meaning to ask you about this. I had a guy reach out to me a couple of weeks ago. I've been cultivating a relationship with him. We used to go to church together. I haven't seen him in years, and he's interested in the business now. He just placed almost a $700 order the other day because he wants to try everything before he makes up his mind on promoting. And I'm like, you know, it just started by me interacting, like, how are you guys doing? I haven't seen you since, you know, you've changed churches or whatever, and just interacting with people. Also, I was going to say something about I don't know, brain fart. Anyways, so last thing I want to say too is that a lot of people wait for the momentum. Oh, it was Eric Worre. I love him. Eric Worre had said something a while ago, and he said momentum only lasts for 18 months on average. And so unless you want to join a new company every 18 months and start over every 18 months, you might as well just put your head down where you are right now and get back to work. And, if you've been here for a while and, maybe you've been here 6+ months and you're like, man, it's just not fun anymore. I feel like sometimes when we start things, it's like ignorance on fire. You're like, I don't even know. I just feel good. I don't know the ingredients. I just know I get paid on Tuesdays. We throw it for free and I love it. And you share it, right? And then the longer that you're here and the more that you do it, it becomes like a job to people like, oh, I have to post today. I have to interact today. I have to reach out today. And it's daunting, right? We take the fun away from it. People can tell when you're not having fun in your business. Hands down, 100%, they can tell. They can read us like a book. They can see right through us. If you're just posting to post, people can tell. Be excited. Get back to the basics. I'll go back all the time, and I've had this conversation with some of my leaders. And, Sue's on here. I've told Sue, I'm like, I check my memories on Facebook because I'm like, 2018, Katie was like, oh, man, like that's a good one. And I'll repurpose my own content because I'm like, I like that one. That was a good one. And so get back to the basics. When you first started and you got your 3-day mini and you've never felt better in your life and you couldn't shut up about it, get back to that. Stop making this a job. Yes, this is a very lucrative career and it can change your family's life in more ways than one, but it should be fun. It should be exciting. People aren't going to join you if you're not excited about what you've got. So be excited about that. And then as far as momentum, I know that a lot of us were like, I'll be excited when I'm winning. I'll be excited when I'm enrolling. I'll do this when that happens. And the only way to get that is to first take action. It's like a circle. It's the best thing I've ever seen. And I'll always tell you guys about it. It starts with action. Action creates results. Results creates excitement, and excitement makes you do more action, right? It's literally a circle. So you're not just going to wake up one day excited. You're going to have to take action even when you don't want to, show up even when you don't want to, go live even when your kids are in the background screaming. I mean, I've literally gone live hiding in my closet before, or I've locked myself in the bathroom. My husband's like, if you're going live and the kids are here, you better lock the door. I've done it even when it was hard, even when I didn't want to. I believe that to grow a very successful organization, you need to be a leader with integrity, and integrity is doing what you said you were going to do. If you said you're going to go live today, go live today. If you said you're going to hop on that Zoom today, hop on that Zoom today. If you're, we have a content calendar every day of the month. If you're on our team, that we share a topic for you to touch on. If you don't have anything to talk about, if you're committed to following that calendar, follow the calendar, right? Be the leader that you want to have. I always picture your perfect promoter and then be that promoter. Your team will only ever be half as fast as you. So make sure that you're setting the pace for them. But that's all I wanted to share. Do you have anything else you want to leave with us? Because you already spilled your guts to us and it was so good. Anything else that you want to leave to anyone? Just any tip?
Yeah, I actually would like to touch on 2 things you just said. If you're out there feeling stuck, if you're here 6 months and you're just like, I'm just not feeling it, or I'm feeling burnt out, or whatever those things, I tell my team all the time, if you're feeling stuck or burnt out, it's because you're trying to force yourself into doing things you don't like to do. Now, that's not meaning you shouldn't stretch your comfort zone, but maybe you need to change it up. Maybe you're trying to do things you don't love when there's a lot of other things that you could be doing that you love. And also start creating things, because I feel like that just I don't understand the science behind that, but it's something in your brain goes on when you create, but that will help you so much. And then also celebrate small wins. What she said about how some people feel like, well, I will be happy when I'm successful, or success is judged. There's so many levels of success, and your idea of success and my idea of success can be completely different. And I was coaching someone on my team one time, and I use her story all the time. She doesn't care that I do this, but celebrate the small wins. Don't think you can't talk about this opportunity because you're not a 6-figure earner, or because you're not a 200K, or because you're not a Lavelle millionaire. Celebrate those small wins. Let me tell you, that mom that just would love to earn some extra money so she can go buy a Starbucks and get her nails done without having to touch the family budget, those are the people that are going to drive your business. Those are the people that are out there that are going to resonate with those things. So I was coaching someone on my team. She was like, I'm so disappointed. I'm just not good at this. Like all the things, all the negative things in her head. Yet her account, she still like consistently does like a 25K. She maintains auto bonus under her account and her husband's account. And, so yeah, she's not 40K, but I said to her, I'm like, oh my gosh, do you know how many Lavelle promoters on our team would kill to be 25K, like have that kind of volume every month? And here you are acting like you don't make any money and you're not doing what you should be doing and you're not where you want to be. Like, celebrate those small wins. Don't discount yourself because your paycheck today is only $30. Go talk about that. Talk about that, because there is that. And my brand's very mom specific, so I tend to blurb that. But there are those people in your audience that would do anything. They would do anything to make an extra $30 that they didn't have to clock into work for, or because that $30 works out to 120 and maybe that'll pay their light bill that maybe they're struggling with. So don't discount those small wins, because that will just carry you on to bigger wins. But that's what I have for you. That's it.
Stop looking for the big dogs. I heard this too. I could go off with you forever. This is dangerous. So stop looking for the big dogs. Stop looking for, oh, I want another leader to come in and blow this business up. And I want this person to come in and, I want this person to come in and want to make 6 figures. I'm looking for my next millionaire. I'm looking for my 200K. You know what? Cool. That's great. If they catch the vision, that's amazing. And I'd love to run with them, but I'm looking for the next mom that wants to pay for groceries. Your business, you're going to have people that come in and catch the vision and they're like, yes, 6 figures. Like, I'm going to earn $1 million award. I'm going to walk the stage. But 90% of my business and 90% of my organization is moms wanting to pay their car payment or get their nails done without touching the family budget, or groceries or dance lessons. And like you had said, success is defined very differently for a lot of different people. Success could be, I lost 20 pounds on these products. Success could be, I'm thriving for free. Success could be a millionaire award. Success could be, hey, I just paid off my car, or I paid my car payment this month. It's not being repoed. Last month it almost got repoed and I didn't know how we were gonna, keep it. Success is so versatile. It could be literally anything. So define your success. I hate the saying only 1% of people are successful. I call BS, because success is not defined. It's not a box. It could be anything. And so find out what you want for success. Celebrate those small wins. Never underestimate the power of those small things. Like Jennifer had said, she's got a fast start bonus and she was like, oh, okay. I started and I'm like, my husband was working 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week overnight. And I was so damn tired of asking him for money for his own birthday present. Like, hey, Christmas is coming. Can I have money for your Christmas present? That's all I wanted, to be able to just buy him a Christmas present out of my own pocket. I wanted to say, hey, the light bill, I got it this month. That's all I wanted. But the snowball effect is a very, very real thing. And it just takes you being tactical and consistent and putting in the action, not just like, we can all post on social media, right? We can all have pretty social medias, but put in the actual work behind the scenes and connect with people, and you will blow your own mind at what's possible here. So I'm going to shut up now because I could just keep going forever. Thank you so much for hopping on, you guys. Definitely give her a follow. Jennifer Welshans on everything. She likes to keep, I love that. Thank you. So we're not searching nothing crazy. She's amazing on social media. I love her, lives, reels, posts. It's all just so good. Give her a follow for sure. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And happy payday, everybody. Make sure you share about it. I'll see y'all later. Bye.